Oh, and we're live. GM fam, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Avatar. I'm your host, Crafter, and today I am joined by the homie Andrea from 3Tech Studio, and I'm excited to chat, man, and get to know you. How you doing?
Hey, thank you for having me there. I'm good. I'm good. Today is gonna be a nice day.
Yeah,
Thank
dude.
you.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. For those of you that are tuning in live, we are hanging out. I just moved away from it, but we are hanging out inside of our sandbox studio over in the Fungi Family social hub. If you know how to play in the sandbox, obviously come join us. If you don't, I do have a YouTube video on my YouTube walking me through how to do that. I could drop the link or something if I can figure out how to do that. But if you don't know how, don't worry. Just get into our Discord or something, and we'll figure it out for next time. And just keep watching along. But we are going to, at the end of this show, be doing a little contest. So make sure you stay tuned to that, and there will be a prize to win and everything. So, but anyways, thank you for being here, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. We've chatted a little bit behind the scenes, and I wanted to get you on here and just get to know you a little bit better, and let other people get to know you, because you guys are doing some really cool stuff over with 3Tech Studios. So if you wanna, let's start off by just maybe just giving everyone a quick little overview of what 3Tech Studio is, and maybe a little introduction on who you are, and
Mhm.
then we can dive on into it.
Sure. Thank you for the introduction. So here is Andrea from Free Tech Studio. I'm the founder of this development team. We create the apps, custom smart contracts, APIs, and so on. So I can say everything related to the Web3. And yeah, that's a wrap up of what we do.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
easy, just to give you an idea. So
And you guys have been doing like Web3 development for um well, I guess I'll let you say who you want to say, but because I don't know if you're under like NDAs or
yeah,
anything. But you've been working with at least one company brand that I know in the sandbox, and I think maybe other sandbox game
yeah.
development studios as well. Uh, what I guess well, I guess if you want, you can let people know who that is. I don't know if you can or can't say, um, and then we can dive on into what that means.
Sure, sure. No worries. Okay, so we have started our journey into the Web3 by creating some tools for different communities. We have created just, yeah, I can say tools, the apps that are able to see and to grab data on chain from different chains. So we have started from there. Then we have created some hobby the apps to create different mechanisms like NFT stakings, built from scratch and other things. I've been an artist for the sandbox since 2021, so my passion comes from there when I
Mm.
started to get deep into the metaverse. And yeah, this path has, I can say, not ended, but has bring us to creating for building studios like the Pickaxe Master. Now we are creating something for Tempest Studio as well, and we are in touch with another studio that probably I can't say. So without having things done, it's better to avoid talking about this sensitive stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
that's awesome. Um, so you started out doing, were you working in Box Edit or Game Maker, or
yeah.
what were you
I've
doing?
First of all, I've invested in my very first NFT. That was a TSB Land.
Mm,
So
nice.
yeah, that was a sort of dive into the Web3. I've seen different NFTs popped up from anywhere. It was mm, 2018 when I started to buy NFTs, and the Sandbox land was my first one. So I'm pretty proud of that choice.
Yeah, that's a stellar first pick for sure. Um,
Yeah,
and I mean, you said back in 20, when did you say?
2018.
2018.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen you've seen it go all the way from, I mean, what did it even cost back then? I don't even know. It was probably pretty cheap though, huh? And
Yeah, it
you've
was.
seen it go up and down.
Yeah, it was about less than $100. It was in the public sale where no sold out was seen almost
Uh-huh.
every time. So yeah, it was just about getting the real estates, the free by free. They went sold out pretty fast, but the single lands were easy to catch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not so much anymore. And the
Yeah.
people have definitely caught on, but yeah, those early stage. That's, I mean, that's way earlier than even I was. So that's awesome that you've kind of been involved since then. Did you? So whenever you found the sandbox,
Mhm.
that kind of opened your eyes to like what Web3 is, or were you already kind of thinking and interested in learning about it, and then this was just like the first
Mhm.
thing that made sense for you to buy?
Okay, I started hearing about Bitcoin hitting $10,000, and I started to mine with
Mm,
graphic cards, creating a mining rig with my grandfather with the wood structure. I put all the mining cards side by side, and I started mining Bitcoin. And
okay.
yeah, that was my very first experience into the Web3, if we can call it Web3, because it's just mining and about cryptos.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's very early stages, and that's that's super cool. That's still something that I've never committed to, like any sort of like mining. Um, it's still kind of, I still don't know 100% even understand what that technically means. Although I have like a general idea of what it's just like, it may, I'm sure you know a lot more. Like what is happening when you're mining Bitcoin? Like you're from I'll give you my understanding, and then you can tell me how
Yeah,
wrong or right I am. But like it sounds like you're basically like solving like complex
yeah, it's
problems.
exactly this type of thing. Generally speaking, is like being the first to solve a problem. So if you have many cards available, graphic cards, you are you have more opportunities to get the exact result, because it's like having the output and you need to find the input for this operation. If you're able to find this input, you are the first and you get the reward, the Bitcoin.
Mm.
This is how, in general, mining works.
And whenever you solve the problem, basically, do, does that equal one full Bitcoin, or is it like fragmented?
Okay, since having the chance to solve this problem is very low and is nearly impossible with one graphic card, if you have the lucky of the entire world, okay,
Hmm.
you can just participate into pools when the work is distributed among the participants,
Mm.
and you participate with your hash power into this pool. You are going to solve just a fraction of this huge problem, we can say, and then you are rewarded from the percentage of the problem that you're going to solve. So it's easier in this way to join a pool, and this pool probably will get the entire reward. Like at the time was 12.5 BTC per block. Okay,
Oh, okay.
now is cut from the halving, and so we can do the calculations. But this is how it works. The first pool win wins, and
Uh-huh.
then the reward is split among the participants in this pool.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That I mean that makes even more sense to me now. By the way, GM, everybody in the chat, I see a few of you guys over there. Yokes on you, Gabriel, and Andy, all popping in. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here. A couple of you watching over on Twitch, a couple of you on YouTube. Just wanted to shout out the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in live, and we're gonna drop an attendance form for you guys here a little later on. You will need to fill that out if you want to participate in any of the other stuff that we'll get into at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program. So you've been in the game for quite a while. I mean, that's what's 2018, 19, 20, 21, like
6 years.
6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've kind of seen all kinds of things come and go, and the ups and the downs. I guess what about this space and this technology keeps you here and keeps you motivated to keep going?
Okay. That's a hard question because the reason why I'm still here has evolved over time. So first of all, I started by speculation with the mining. I totally be honest with this. And yeah, I started by trying to get some gains from the mining. Then I try to invest as much as I can, buying a premium land from the sandbox, common one. Also, other NFTs that I've seen, it was NFTs by the NBA Top Shot, if you know.
Yep.
Collectibles, so
Yeah.
that are really different from the sandbox. But I've seen that anybody who was able to buy one pack was in gain. So I tried to do the same, and I've got some gains. I've continued, and then I see the bubbles destroyed later. Yeah, the market is a cycle. So yeah, and then I've invested next, my second step, and then I've gone deeper into the technology by trying to, since I have a IT background, I know how to deal with the apps, applications, the traditional web programming, and so on. So I try to do as much as I can with my skills into the Web3. So creating tools, then I set up a small team, and now we are 3tech, and we do things in a very larger way than I was expected when I started. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's a kind of, I don't know, we start from something, and then our believing is going to evolve over time. So, yeah, now I'm here for a total different reason from the beginning. It's not anymore speculation. It's because I believe in this space. I see the possibilities. Now we are in touch, and that's more than enough. You see, yeah, I got in touch with a lot of people from different parts of the world, make friendships, and so yeah, that's more. The technology is a sort of connection between the people. In this space, is even easier to get in touch with people that probably you will never see into the traditional Web 2.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, it's super cool how this Web3 space has kind of allowed all of us to connect over the technology, basically. That like you and me probably would have never had a conversation if it weren't for Web3. And there's so many other connections that, like, obviously, like, I've met a lot of people. I'm in the US, so like I've met a lot of people in the US that, who knows, maybe I would have ran into. But it's cool how actual, like, worldwide it is. And I really enjoy that aspect of it, where it's you can talk to somebody from across the globe, and they're interested in the same things, and I think that's super awesome, and it's kind of something that maybe is like underestimated about it, because it's it can start to feel like maybe it's just you and a few of your friends or whatever in whatever country or state or wherever you are, but then like whenever you start to really like zoom out a little bit, you do realize that like
Yeah.
it really is kind of all over the place, which I think is super awesome. And the community just seems to keep growing and growing. Obviously, we're in this sort of bear market, so it has shrunk, but the people that are here are the ones that are truly excited about the future potential of everything that is going on here. So I think it brings me back. I think it was either 2020 or early 2021 whenever I really started paying attention to NFTs and Web3 in general, and it kind of brings me back to those days, because it was before that was kind of before the big hype cycle that we went through,
Mhm.
and it was, although that hype cycle was super fun, um, there's something special about it being a little more intimate of a group that is focused on truly like building and doing cool stuff, because now you really do see all the different cool stuff that is happening, and it's not just hey, you should buy this, you should buy this, you should buy this
Yeah,
kind of
totally agree.
stuff. So yeah, it's nice to be here, and during the bear for sure. um what was what's been your experience? Like obviously you've gone through a couple cycles if you're back in 2018. um for this past cycle, that
Mhm.
we're kind of into the bear part of it, did you what was your experience like whenever like it got like super super excited? I guess what pops in my head is like what was the interest and the excitement the same? And maybe you don't even know, but like it really did seem like almost everyone in America, like at least knew the word NFT at one point, and if they obviously had an opinion one way or the other about it, negative or positive, or hoping to make money off of it or whatever. But like,
Mhm.
was that the same where you are, or what was that like kind of like hysteria moment for you?
That's an interesting question. Um, I can definitely say that in the first bull market, when Bitcoin has reached new heights, I've seen few people joining the space. I'm talking about Web3 in general. And so the emotions were not so many from not so many people. So it was just a small bunch of people that were getting huge gains from the space. And when more audience has came, I've seen the explosion into the metaverse. But I believe that the metaverse is something that we have not experienced yet,
Mm,
fully talking about of the full concept, but it's just a sort of small slice, okay?
yeah.
And I've seen a lot of excitement into the second bull run because more people were involved into the space. Also, television was talking about it. I've seen in the TVs, journals, and so on, talking about also the sandbox, talking about NBA Top Shot as well. So I think that we have surpassed about a couple of cycles, interesting, of this space, two chapters, we can say. But the most interesting thing is for sure not appeared yet, is what we are building now, what we are doing unique in this space. I've seen a lot of people that are dropping PFP images, simple models, random collections, and so on. Now there is no space for this type of things to happen because this hype has passed.
Mm,
And so, yeah, I want to be honest without
yeah.
congratulations to this type of things. I've never thought about creating a 10,000 collection because I don't see the utility. Instead, I just try to follow the trends. So buying projects that are, I can say, promising, but then I've been scammed, and then for a lot. So I lost, I think, 90% of my gains of
Mm,
the entire history of my personal trip into this page. And then I started to focus on building things that cannot be stolen, like
yeah. Yeah.
the knowledge, smart contracts, skills, building the apps, providing services. Also focusing about security things like smart contracts with multiple authorizations, locks, vaults. So yeah, everything has let me being here now with this type of knowledge, with this type of experience, because it was 2021 February that I lost about 100k, and
Mm,
this has signed me in some way, we can say. I lost a bit my interest into the entire Web3 in that period, but
yeah.
then I figured out that there is more. We cannot focus just on the gains. We need to focus on what we can do different from before, from the Web2. And then I've decided to create 3techstudio. So yeah, that's
So
the beginning.
yeah, yeah. So I mean that it always sucks whenever you hear about somebody like yourself, like and end up losing a big chunk of money like that, um, because it. I mean, it is obviously a possibility here, and it probably always will be a potential possibility that things like that can happen just with the whole nature of decentralization and just
Yeah.
everything that comes with that. You don't. I mean, being the one that controls all of your like not having a third party controlling and combating like fraud and stuff, like it definitely can't happen, and it sucks when you hear it does, but it also does seem a lot of times lead people to dive deeper and learn more about the space, or it scares them away, which I mean, I think is also a valid reaction and a bummer. But I love whenever it actually does the opposite, and like in your case, it kind of drove you to look deeper into what is going on here and not focus so much on, like, obviously there is money to be made here, and there's lots of gains that you can focus on, but that's not at the end of the day, that's not really what this space is about. Yes, that's what a lot of the attention is on, but there's so much more happening here, and I think that so much more that is happening is what keeps people like yourself interested and building, and that's what we need is people that are focused on growing and pushing the space forward, because the technology is still so young, and there's so much possibility around what could happen, and the only thing holding that back is that not everyone understands how the technology works and what they can actually do with it. So whenever you get people like yourself that come in here and actually do kind of understand how to work with the technology, you start seeing all kinds of cool innovations starting to happen. And just like, I'm just thinking of, like, it always impresses me, like I know surface level coding, but not like enough to be deadly. I can't do a whole lot with any of the knowledge I have, but I have a lot of like surface level knowledge, and it's always like amazing to have conversations with people like yourself, that we've had uh, off camera, and just be able to throw some random thought that I have at you, and you're able to then take that and be like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, and you understand the technology enough to actually like break down like what would actually need to happen and how you could actually do that. And there's usually like 13 different options of ways that ways
Yeah.
that it could be done. But like whenever I'm in those conversations, it just always blows my mind. And I'm grateful for the big brains like yourself that
Thank you.
are
Thank you.
are able to do that, because we need both sides of it. Like we need the creatives and the innovatives like myself. And I'm not saying that you're not innovative or creative, but in your own a different way. And I think whenever those minds come together and start blending, that's when super cool stuff starts happening. Um, Shout out everyone in chat again. I see some new faces over here. Hoddle, um, you're a legend, and Escape Room Artist ERA. Thanks for being here. We are hanging out over in. I'll switch over to this screen. We are hanging out over in the sandbox. We are in the Fungi Social Hub. So if anyone wants to come hang out and come find us, that's where we are. We got a stage set up there, thanks to 3techstudios for hooking us up with this dope stage that we can record from. So if you guys want to come and hang out, you're more than welcome to. If you don't know how, then I'm not going to help you on this show. But if you want to hop in our Discord or something, I can help you figure it out for the next one. What up, Sparky? Thanks for being here. But yeah, and I do see there's someone in the chat inside of the sandbox that is saying, "Where is everybody?" If you are listening, Reaper, I can't type right now into the chat, but we are up kind of on top of the mountain. So just climb up the mountain from the entrance, and you should be able to find us. But Sparko, yeah, stumbled over the word Sparky. So okay, so I'm gonna switch back here so I can see you better. You mentioned earlier that you have been building with the Pickaxe Master.
Mm-hmm.
I think you also said that you're starting to do stuff with 3techstudio, which is awesome. They're doing some really cool stuff, and I've had them on the show a couple of times. They're always working on some awesome stuff, and hopefully, I can only imagine that you're gonna help even push that forward even more. So it'll be awesome to see what you guys cook up together. But what if you can get into it, like what has been your experience working with? I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically the Pickaxe Master. It can be anyone or everyone that you've been working with in the sandbox. But I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like what has been your experience like working with people that are building stuff in the sandbox, and what I guess like what kind of like limitations or reasons are there that people are coming to you and saying, hey, can you help us do things, because we can't do everything that we want to do inside of the sandbox, which seems like that's kind of the scenario that you're running into. And correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, but it kind of seems like that's probably the reason that people would be coming to you, is because they can't do everything that they want to do inside of the sandbox quite yet anyways.
Okay. What can I say? I can say that I can understand the needs of building studios, creators of the sandbox, because I've been an artist too. So I've been an artist for 2 years. I've seen how it works, what means being an artist for the sandbox, creating NFTs each month. I've done it for 2 years, and then I've got bored of this type of stuff. Not because I'm no more a creative person, but because there are so many NFTs that pops up every month. At least when the Creator Fund was active, there were about 3,000 new NFTs assets per month. So the marketplace is more than overflooded with this type of things. And so I've decided to create a collection called the Poison Essence. This collection was created with some collaborations with artists, like artists been into the sandbox and also outside, because we can see the talent that is both from outside that inside. I mean, the TSB and Creator Fund environment.
Mhm.
And so we created this collection because I've seen this type of problem. Okay, so I thought we are overflooding the market with a lot of NFTs. Why we can keep valuable these NFTs? Because we cannot create one, put on sale, creating another one, put on sale, and go over this process again and again. Because there is no cap, there is no value at all. I've seen also the most brilliant artworks being sold for $10, even if the artist has been working for a week on just
Mhm.
this type of thing. And this is not the best thing that I've seen on this environment. So we created this collection, having just one NFTs in the center, the Poison Extractor. This NFT is able to be staked into the app that we have built. And then we can create, we have created a staking mechanism starting from this NFT. So we can continue to give value to this NFT. And okay, keeping high the value of this one, we are focused on building few NFTs that are less valuable, and supply has been driven by the community. What I mean with this is that the extractor is able to farm tokens. These tokens can be spent. There is no a max cap now for these NFTs, this collection. It is about 20 NFTs. And the community can spend these farmed tokens to buy these copies. These copies will be exchanged later when the sandbox will open the marketplace, and we can mint with Genesis, with Catalyst and Gems. So we'll be able to trade these vouchers. We have created these NFTs with these actual playable assets like decorations. We have a couple of avatars made by talented artists. I created as well a huge part of the collection. And we have created this type of mechanism like a showcase, but also to create and open the eyes of the artists and the creators that there is more. Okay, because we could even buy a lot of NFTs from the sandbox, put them into a pool, smart contract, custom smart contract, and so on, and create this mechanism based on this type of thing. So instead of creating new NFTs, we have decided to create this collection because it's a themed collection. Also, I can't make any promise, but probably we will create an experience related to this collection because we have a ton of assets. So why not?
Yeah.
And so we have created these mechanisms because I've seen the problems into the sandbox environment, especially from the artist side. Then, since I'm here from the beginning, I can say we have experienced that there are a lot of limitations. Asset distributions, asset minting. What can I do with an avatar? An avatar is just an avatar. I can use it for play, but when I have an avatar, it's more than enough to play. Why buy more? We need to create something more around this avatar. And so we have proposed to the Pickaxe Master to create his collection. His collection that is not just an ERC 721, where each NFT is unique, but is a sort of evolving collection where we can change the metadata in order to reflect the changes that can be related to interactions with the game, maybe. There is a whole community outside the experience. We can use it the experience because is done for this, is done for playing, for having fun, for meet together, and so on. But we have an NFT even if the experience is not on. So we are holders. We want to provide value to our NFTs. We want to be proud of our NFTs. We want to use them in some way. If we can provide more use cases, then the community can grow, can spend more time around the project, can found also relationships, because they can talk starting from, okay, I'm an holder of this NFT, you are an holder as well. Wow, let's connect in some way. Let's speak about something, we can create connections. And the more time we get into the community, the more connections we can make. And also the best ideas are there to pick up. And so, yeah, that's, I can say that this is what has led me to this point, knowing a lot of the limitations, because now the experience is not integrating microtransactions. It's something that the sandbox wants to do. It will be for sure very interesting. I don't know exactly what is the concept, because it can be anything from having the smart contract directly integrated into the sandbox. For example, when I drop an NFT into the sandbox, a transaction can be launched. But that's just my idea, my imagination.
Mhm.
I can say that this will be the way. And so, something that we are sure is that if we create a collection that is not just a collection, an avatar collection, we can create a whole game that is interconnected with the experience, like creating different stories and played also outside the experience itself, like creating a simple app where the users are interacting in some way. They can leave messages. If they are owners of these NFTs, we can create a sort of infrastructure in order to sign the messages if they are the holders, I repeat. And they can have a sort of lobby, special lobby just for the others, but outside the experience, outside Discord, in a very special place. And they can interact in some way. They can earn experience. Also, we can transform Discord into a sort of token farming station, connect to smart contracts externally, and create a whole mechanism that works is interoperable with Discord, with the app, with the system itself. So there is the imagination is the limit, is a phrase that always pops up. This is the
Mhm.
case, and I can say that it's true. If you can do it something like this, if you are able to interact with the blockchain, if you can build smart contracts, have a strong community, because the strong community is something that is needed. We can do very interesting things, and we can really grow together in some way.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that being able to, I mean, the fact that, like what you said about having like the what'd you say, imagination is the limit.
Yeah.
Um, like that's one thing that I am so in love with this space, is the fact that if you can imagine it, there's some way that you can make that um, into reality. It might not play out exactly how maybe you were thinking that it would happen, but like whenever you get together with somebody like yourself, it seems like there's always a way to come up with a solution to what you're trying to do, and I love that about this space. And it like you touched on it a little bit, but like I think that's so important, interoperability. You brought that up, and being able to use your NFT in more than one scenario. So for a lot of things sandbox related, if you buy like the avatars specifically, a lot of the avatars that are in the sandbox basically that's all you can do with them is um, maybe they'll get you into like a token gated Discord or something. But other than that, like you can use them as an avatar in the sandbox, and that's about it. And that that's like just like scratching the surface of I don't even know if it's actually really even utilizing the technology at all, to be honest, other than yes, it's on the blockchain, but like other than that, it seems like there's a lot, like you were saying, there's so much more that you could be doing with everything, and it's not being utilized. So I think it's cool that you guys are definitely like pushing the limits and helping other builders inside of the sandbox kind of realize that and um, and push for being able to do more with the assets that are out there, and that they're creating. What up, Pickaxe Master? They just popped in the chat. Pickaxe Master is the reason that I even found out about you. So shout out to them for connecting
Also,
us.
I lost the thread when I started talking without having saying what we have done for the Pickaxe Master project, because we have created a ERC 721 collection, an avatar collection, but this collection has a lot of features. It's not just about having an avatar. It's like having an evolving avatar that can be modified later based on some interactions. It has some values stored on chain in order to let new contracts that will be deployed later to interact with this existing collection. Also, there's a sort of very interesting mechanics that we have created. It's called the family system. The family system is, long story short, is like having a starting collection, and this is implemented into the Pickaxe Master project. The starting collection is the Lucky Miner in this case. The Lucky Miner is an NFT playable into the sandbox that can be burnt, and also along with another NFT, any collectible ERC 1155, a badge. This is called the family badge. So we have created two collections. We can burn a family badge having an avatar, and we can create 10 avatars of the next generation. This involves the deploying of new smart contracts in a sort of hierarchy. In this way, we can expand the supply of the collection without having so many at the same time. If a specific quantity is not required, we cannot just, we don't just burn the badge to create the new family. We just keep the original avatar. In this way, we can enlarge the supply, we can increase the supply with this mechanism that is the first time that is implemented, along with a new one that we have just deployed, the smart contract. And this smart contract is related to the renting of the avatars. It's called the loaning system, and you are able to loan an avatar, the Lucky Miner, and let other players get this avatar for rent for a specific amount of sand. But these are just this is just the beginning, because we have created a sort of loaner v1 that is the logic of this contract. We can later change the logic to a v2, v3, and so on, based also on the needs of the community. In this way, we have created just a simple loan where you can whitelist someone to get your avatar. If you put on rent an avatar, you can select a duration for the loaning. So after accepting the loan, maybe you want to loan it for a week. So we can just translate this into blocks, blockchain time, and let the avatar being able to be rent for this amount of time for a specific amount of, in this case, sand, to increase the usage of this token into this environment. But it can be also USDC, USDT, whatever ERC20 token. Also, something that we can do is staking NFTs for getting rent. This is just a thought that I have now, But yeah, the imagination is the limit. So if you want to let someone renting your NFT by staking another one, we can do it because yeah, we are on chain. Web3 is a matter of possibilities.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the system is going to be developed because we have already the smart contracts online. Everything is working. We have done a lot of tests, 100 tests, also on the testnet. Now is online on Polygon, and we are developing and deploying the user interface in order to let the users be able to interact with the smart contract without going on Polygon scan, for example, interacting with the smart contract. That is something that scares a lot of people in this environment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interacting with with contracts like on either scan or Polygon scan. Like I get why people don't like to have to do that, and it's nice whenever there can be different like apps and stuff that people can do that through instead of having to do it that way. Because although sometimes I've learned that using the contract can give you an edge as far as doing degen activities.
Mhm.
It can also lead you to some costly mistakes if you do things in the wrong order or you submit
Yeah.
the wrong information or whatever. Like I've had a few of those go around. So yeah, it's always good to have other ways that people can interact with the contracts other than um, at the actual smart contract level. Pickaxe Master just said that a lot can be done with smart contracts. It's indeed a brave new world, and I agree
Yeah.
100%. It's wild. I feel like every day I come across something new that can be done in the smart contract world, and like you said, like your imagination is kind of the limit. Um, as long as you have smart enough people around you that can figure out how to take your imagination and turn it into a smart contract. So um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. As far as and it's super cool also just to kind of circle back to what you're talking about with what you guys are doing at the Pickaxe Master. It's I love how you guys are kind of like changing the way that avatars work and the things that you can do with your avatar and the way that you can grow the collection and now you're introducing like a renting feature which has always been something that I think is needed and there's some dapps out there that do some sort of like renting but there's really not anything that at least has come to my attention that really solves the renting need. um, it seems like that lane. I'm sure there's people working on it, obviously, but that whole like world, like especially like whenever I'm thinking of like gaming, it all the different gaming NFTs out there, like people want to play these games, but it's so hard as far as like a barrier to entry with a lot of them for anyone
Yeah.
to be able to because they cost so much. But if the owner isn't playing the game, there should be easy systems out there where they can easily just rent it out to somebody and I haven't come across anything that really does
Mhm.
that really well yet. Are you familiar with anything that is doing that?
Are you talking about some projects that is implementing this feature
Oh,
or in general?
yeah, I mean in general or specific projects. I mean, sounds like
I,
Pickaxe Master and
I want to highlight that this type of feature is mm, compatible with all the existing collections because there are a lot of collections that are well known, like the Doggies, for example, World of Woman, and so on. And what we have done is to create a mirror collection that is exact copy of the original one, and this mirror version is loaned to the user, to the borrower. So he will be able to play with this type of avatar, but without having the opportunity to resell this avatar, to transfer, to burn it, and so on. It's just like being the holder, and for being the holder, we are able to play. The sandbox has given us the possibility to do this type of things because it's just like simple modifications. Like, okay, instead of looking just at this smart contract, you need to look also at this one. And in this way, you are sure that you are the owner of the mirror version and you are able to play. In this way, there will be just the exact amount of the original collection around at the same time. There will be no more worries about losing the avatar because you're giving. Okay, you know that there will be trades, OTC about the players. Give me this for 3 days, this NFT, because there will be a snapshot you're not interested in. So please give me this NFT. I will give you 10 sand, for example, and then I will send you back. In this way, you can just be sure that the avatar will be staked, the original one, into the smart contract, and there will be released the mirror version. The mirror version will go into the player, the borrower wallet, and after the time has passed, both the borrower and the original owner are able to claim back their avatars. So this sort of mechanics is enforced by the blockchain. Without having this type of feature, you're not sure that the other part will send you back the NFTs. And also this feature, is for sure a nice point for people that want to try this environment. I want to try the sandbox, but I don't have any avatar. Let me rent one for 5 sand instead of buying a 50 sand avatar, because there is the secondary sales where the price is lower. I just need an avatar. So 5 sand for a week, I can decide then if I want to buy more and if I want to believe into this space. That's the opportunity. Also, the snapshots are another type of things. So having deployed these collections and the mirror one, the overall system, we are able to create a sort of snapshot to reward the original owners that are owning now the NFT, and also the players that are borrowing these NFTs. So they are fully involved into this space, into the community, into whatever mechanics that you are going to do. We just provide you the implementation. You give us the ideas. We say, okay, let's do this, that, and that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what we do is just talking with the studio or the creator. The creator explains the ideas, the concepts, and we say, okay, you can do this, but with these limitations. If you want to do another type of thing, we can just take another way. So it's about inventing new type of features in some way, and maybe there can be not the best way, but is a way. We need to start from some way, from something, and then we can get better in with experience.
Right, right. I feel like that's what I come across time and time again here, is that you can't be afraid to try something, because there's always going to be some way to fix it. It might not be the most ideal way, but like there's always going to be a way to fix something if you do mess something up. But if you're not trying these different ideas, you're never going to be able to like actually learn from how they actually act once they're like implemented. And I think it's important for us to be kind of testing that. Like that's the whole point of right now. Like we're so early that everything is a big test right now, and we shouldn't be holding back and trying to make things perfect. We should just be making things and then pivoting and fixing as we go, because we are in this kind of like invention stage where if you didn't try and, I don't know. I was thinking of
Making
like,
mistakes
yeah,
also.
yeah, like I was thinking about like making a car. Like if you didn't try to, I don't know, like add a, well, if you didn't try to add the tires or you didn't try to add round tires, like you wouldn't be going anywhere. So you always have to like start basic and just start adding to it and tweaking
Mhm.
it and
Yeah.
modifying, and eventually we'll get to the point where it kind of blows our minds. But and still, it already starts to blow your mind whenever you start to see some things that can already be done. And you were saying that, so like the feature that you were talking about, somebody would be able to rent an NFT, whatever it is, from somebody else and be able to get the rewards of some sort of snapshot or something, but like the
Mhm.
holder would still also be able to, or like the owner, the actual owner, not the renter, would also get those rewards.
Yeah. Okay, let me think. Uh, Something that I've noticed, into just to go a bit back into your thoughts, is that I've seen the smart contracts being not solid, but just smart contracts are immutable. This is a sort of statement. But I've seen that this is something that is going to be false in the future, because there are upgradable smart contracts when you can change basically all the implementation behind. So now an NFT collection can be transferred if you are the owner. That's the common way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you upgrade the collection code, because you can, upgradable smart contracts, you can let other users to be able to transfer your avatar if you do a mistake. But also if you want to do this, because you can change the overall implementation. What we are doing now is not providing this type of feature, not at the moment, because it's not needed. But it's just like open doors to new features, like having new data on chain that are a sort of addition to the simple collections is more than enough now to be able to let the community interact in brand new ways with their NFTs.
Mm.
Instead, talking about the renting, there are a few ways of renting of rent an NFT, because if a collection is already deployed, you cannot add features to the collection smart contract, but you can create new smart contracts that are able to interact with this existing one. In this way, also, in this specific case with the Lucky Miner, we have first of all deployed the collection. That is a sort of um, enhanced collection, ERC 721, that has more possibilities than the common ones, like also I think, I don't want to make names because I don't know. I've gone deeper into other collections, but it's better to keep this information for myself, just to not hurt anybody. But yeah, is a empowered collection with new features, the Lucky Miner, and is a fixed contract. We cannot create new features like the staking, because the staking is complex. Also, the smart contract has a fixed size, so you cannot include so many functions. The space is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And we have created a solution that is able to work with the existing collections. In this way, you are not going to drop into the trash your NFT just because it's old. We want to enforce the idea of having an NFT is something cool. So we need to be backward compatible with the existing collections, providing new features to interact with. And for new collections, we will be able to create the loaning feature inside the contract. In this way, there will not be a mirror collection, but there will be the limitations for the same collection. So instead of having one avatar that is locked into the smart contract and one mirror avatar, there will be just one avatar that will be either into the original owner or into the borrower wallet. In this way, we are able to manage both the things, new collections and old collections, by
Mm-hmm.
keeping adding values to these collections.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that's and that I think that's a super cool concept of like being able to upgrade the smart contracts. Because that's always like something that I've ran into with some of our developers is like whenever whenever we release something like that's it. Like
Mhm.
there's no
Yeah.
changing it once it's out there, and like that's stressful for me because it's like it's like for those of you that know me, I change my mind about things and I and I come up with new ideas all the time. So like putting like locking something in and like this is what it's gonna be and this is all it's gonna be ever, like I don't like that. So like having the ability to be able to go back and change things and add things like as things grow, I think that's super important. Um, but I guess like I also whenever you talk about that, then my head also like goes to I feel like there's probably a side of people that when they hear that they don't like that because
Mhm.
they
Yeah,
want
I got you.
what they're like they want their NFT to like this is what it is and this is what it always will be and you're not allowed to change it even though you're the one that created it kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but I guess there's just two sides to everything anyways, and um because being able to upgrade and change the smart contract like that would allow some like, I'm just thinking like big picture like say um and say like board ape yacht club, like say board ape yacht club was able to, and maybe they are, I have no idea to be honest, able to go in and probably not just because they created it so long ago, but who knows, they're smart. But
I will
they
take a look
like
at the
would
smart
they
contract.
if they could go in and change data and how like the smart contract works, like they could, I mean they could change anything. They could change the pictures, they could change anything, and like so like I see people's arguments of like why they wouldn't want that to be possible.
Mhm.
Is that something that you think about like when it makes sense to do it one way or the other?
Yeah,
um
I got your point. What I think is that there are situations in which upgrading the smart contracts is something that is the heaven, okay? Because like gaming in particular,
mhm,
uh, you can't fix an idea because now you are thinking about an experience when there are these NFTs, but later you're going to create a season two when this experience is going to evolve and NFTs are in some way attached to the history, to the lore of the experience. And then maybe you want to evolve these NFTs because the experience is going on, the history of the project is going on. Why don't reflect this information to the NFTs because you have participated into the experience, because you are part of the community? It's like being involved in different ways. But the other side is, especially from the art, I think, you have created an artwork, you want it to be the same forever. And so I totally agree that this should be it, and it should never change. There is EPFS, so it could
mhm,
change for mistakes. I don't know. Since we are relying on the blockchain, almost all the data are stored forever and immutable. But if EPFS for some way will lose your URI because you have the the media related to the NFT, talking about the Bored Apes, the image is stored on EPFS. If all the nodes for let then all the nodes are down for a moment, you lose the image related to your NFT, and nobody will be able to set it again. And so, yeah, can be just one chance by a trillion. I don't know,
mhm.
but it can happen. The only NFTs that are stored on chain are the autoglyphs, and the CryptoPunks. So There are situations in which having a smart contract upgradable is useful. I think more into business, into companies that are going to add the Web3 part to their business for storing transactions, other things, having subscriptions that can evolve over time for some reasons. Maybe they are expired, maybe they are upgraded in some way. They are enriched with some features in other ways. These are the cases where a smart contract can be upgradable. But just about the art is something that I'm sure that the concept needs to be immutable. Otherwise, I don't see why not upgrade your smart contract, at least from a part, small parts.
Yeah. No, I see where you're coming from. Like that there is like two sides to it, and I think it just depends on what it is that you're creating, and if it makes sense to be able to upgrade it, or if it does make sense to be solidified, immutable, and not be able to change it at all. And I feel like if you really don't want it to be able to be changed, then it should be like fully on chain, like you're saying, like autoglyphs and CryptoPunks, and I know there's definitely some other ones out there, but there's not that's not like a very common thing to do, and I don't know why that is. Like, does it cost more gas to
Yeah, it costs
do
a lot.
to like initialize the smart, or like whatever it's called?
But also storing data on chain that are different from strings, numbers, and things like that is something that is not expensive, much more. Maybe it can be done on layer 2, like Polygon or others, but it's something that is not worth the effort at all. So
Right.
that's the reason.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. By the way, everybody who is tuning in live, I am dropping a link into the chat. I think so if you're watching on Twitter, sorry, the StreamYard, what I use to stream, does not let me see your comments or send comments to you, so you won't be able to see this. But if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, I just dropped a form link into the chat. Make sure you go fill that out. This is just an attendance form, and that will allow you, as long as you're in our Discord, to start gaining experience points, an unnamed experience point that you'll be able to use for stuff in the future that we're not talking about yet. But we're working our way towards it. So make sure you go claim that, and make sure you're in our Discord. And you also do have to fill out this form if you want to participate in the contest that we are going to be holding every week. It's going to be a leaderboard type contest, but yeah, so just make sure you fill this form out every time you watch, and we'll drop it towards the end of each episode. Shout out SSK Wolf for joining us, and I think I saw a couple others, Ali, and who else was in here? SSDW was also in here for a little bit, hanging out with us in the studio. So thanks for coming by and hanging out. We are gonna have to start wrapping up here shortly. What up, OG Shakespeare? Thanks for swinging by. We're gonna have to start wrapping up here pretty shortly. I want to give you a chance to just kind of let people know where they can find you, and what you could help them with, because I know a lot of studios and game developers in the sandbox watch this show. So if there's anything that people should know about what you guys are doing, this would be a great time for you to kind of let people know about that. And then after that, we are gonna show people how they can enter to win. I forget what you called it. It's some
Poison extractor.
Yes, poison extractor.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a little contest inside of the Flores cake. Spoiler alert. So, but yeah, go for it, and I will get things prepped on
Thank
this
you.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say one thing before. Uh, Now we are focusing more on the sandbox building studios and creators because having been part me, but also other of my team members of this environment, especially talking about the metaverse and the sandbox, we know what are the ups and downs of this environment. So for this reason, we have started from this environment, but we are also open for new projects outside. So yeah, uh, we deal with the apps, we deal with the smart contracts, custom smart contracts. You see 721 collections, avatars collections, tokens collections, staking, renting. I don't know, a lot of things. So marketplaces and so on. So you can find us on Twitter. We have the 3techstudio account. Also, we have the website, 3techstudio.com. I'm personally on Discord. I'm Andrea, 3techstudio, if I remember well, but otherwise, just ask to someone. Probably they will lead you to us. So, yeah, thank you for having me here again.
Heck yeah. Yeah, no, and like I was saying, you are a wealth of knowledge, and we definitely want to have you back on and pick your brain a little bit more. It's hard to get into everything in
Thank you.
just an hour or so. But it was great. It was great getting to know you a little bit and hearing more about what you guys have been working on. I guess we can just leave it at that, and make sure you guys go follow, for sure, go follow them over on Twitter, 3techstudio. If you're catching the replay, all the links are going to be in the description below. If you're not catching the replay, just use your skills and type in 3techstudio and
Thank
in
you.
the Twitter search, and you'll be able to find them. But that's probably the best place to start, and then you can find links and stuff there. That's usually my go-to, is go to somebody's Twitter and then get links from there. But yeah, and for everyone that is tuning in right now and wants to participate in the listen to earn part of this show, one, make sure you filled out that form. If I'll drop it here again for you guys just in case it didn't go through. I think it did. Oh, and and for everybody who is wondering, especially Huddle, the secret word for today is 3techstudio. Um, really creative secret word. So don't get that wrong. And spelling doesn't really matter. Just try your best. 3techstudio. I think you can probably get that one right. But and then anyways, if Andrea, if you do have to go, feel free to hop off. But now I'm just gonna kind of show people how they can participate in the leaderboard challenge that we're gonna start doing. This is the first time we've done this,
Yeah.
and I've been building up to it. I was trying to do it last week, but then we had some shows that had to get canceled. So we're doing it this week, kicking it off. And for this week, well, I guess let me just kind of explain it, because it's all in my head and you guys probably have no idea what the heck's going on. But basically, we are hosting a leaderboard challenge for people that tune in live to the show. So you do have to show up live and fill out that attendance form, which I dropped and dropped a couple times. We were just talking about it. Make sure you use that secret word, 3techstudio. And if you show up live, then you will also have a chance. And if you show up live to the first recording of the day, because sometimes we're going to have two, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time are my two recording slots on Wednesdays. And at the end of the second recording slot, which would be probably around 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time, is when that ends. You'll have one more hour, and then the window will close. But you got to go into our Discord and submit your score. Make sure you record whenever you're playing through whatever game we announce on the show, and then submit that video link. You'll have to upload it to YouTube, and you can do an unlisted link or whatever. But that's basically the only way that we can for sure prove that you did play the game and got the score that you're saying you got. So until we come up with a better system for verifying, that's what we're going to stick to. I know it's not the greatest solution, but it is what it is for right now. For you guys that are here live, if you do want to participate, there's the leaderboard has 10 spots on it that we're going to give away prizes to. For this one specifically, first place is going to win not only experience points that we give away all the time, but also the poison extractor
Yeah,
from 3techstudio. And while I get over to the screen that I need to be on, do you want to maybe just give people a little rundown on what that is one more time, and
sure.
why they would want to win it?
Yeah. Can you share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I have my the app opened in order to give some more context, Okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, it looks like it's up there now.
Okay, so this is the Poison Extractor. It's just an NFT. It's not minted on the sandbox yet because the marketplace is not open, so we're waiting for it. And you can just, if you win this NFT, you're able to connect your wallet to this the app. You need to initialize the account, approve for the management of this type of NFT, and then you can just stake it. If you stake it, you are going to farm tokens, the PE tokens, at a rate of 100 per day. After getting some tokens, you can claim them, and with these tokens, you can buy these vouchers from this type of NFTs. These are NFTs made with Vox Edit, so we will be able to exchange them later when the sandbox marketplace will open. We'll be able to trade them, these vouchers, for actual copies of these NFTs. Now the rarity can be expected to be common, just because we don't know the exact amounts that will be minted. And we have different type of NFTs. Almost everyone is built from scratch. For example, this wasp, plantivorous, and so on. We have an avatar here. We have also equipments. And just to wrap up, you can stake the Poison Extractor, earn tokens passively. You can just stake and come back in a month. And you can spend these tokens to get these vouchers from these NFTs. Later, when the sandbox will open the marketplace, we will mint the NFTs, and we will be able to exchange these vouchers for the real copy. And yeah, that's all.
Heck yeah, that's super cool. So basically, the poison extractor, that's what you
Yeah,
call it, is what you need to earn these tokens, and
yeah,
then you can use the tokens in your guys' marketplace to purchase or redeem for different assets that then they could use inside of the
exactly.
sandbox. Super
Yeah.
cool. And are all of the assets in the marketplace stuff that you've created, or are you like collabing with other people that put things in
Yeah, we have
there?
created collaborations. For example, this one, you can see the name of the artists that have
Nice.
made the NFT here. Also, you have their links, their social links, because this collection wants to be a sort of collaboration collection. Here we have other artists. You can say, maybe you can see common faces, familiar
Yeah,
faces.
yeah, definitely.
And yeah, they are not available into the marketplace now because it's too early to move since the sandbox is not yet opened. But there will be for sure an announcement when we will mint the NFTs, so you will be able to trade your vouchers that now you're going to collect with these NFTs.
Heck yeah, that's super awesome. Um, sounds and I think we've already talked about this, but if we haven't,
Yeah, one time. Just one
this
time.
is this is something similar to what I want to implement for you guys with the experience points that you guys are going to be gaining. So hint hint, you definitely should want to be want to be getting these experience points because similar concept. But that's super cool. So whoever gets first place in this first week's challenge is gonna get themselves a poison extractor along with a bunch of XP uh, that you guys will be able to use. Um, Let me switch back over to my screen. Boom. So speaking of contests for the leaderboard, if you want to participate, you're going to have to be playing in the sandbox. And you are going to just go to sandbox.game, then click on the map over on the left side here, and then go over to the search bar. Just type in floor's cake or floor. I'm sure that'll all bring it up, and then just get on into the floor's cake game here, and we're gonna travel there. And then once we get over there, we're just gonna play. If you guys are already in the fungi family, if you're not, you definitely should be in their Discord and participating in the contest that they're doing right now for the Floors Cake. But we're just gonna be playing the same challenge mode that they're doing right now. So I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But you just got to wander over to the code area where you enter the code and you'll do 0012 and that'll get us going on the game. But like I said before, and maybe I should have shown a screen or something, but you do need to record your screen while you are playing so that you can upload that to YouTube, and you'll be able to submit that with the form inside of our Discord. So make sure you're also in our Discord. Links to all of the stuff that I talk about that's related to what we do are going to be on my Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you go there and crafter_ETH, and then all the links are going to be in my bio for this stuff, like our Discord and stuff. But definitely get in the Discord. That's the best place to connect with me if you have any questions about this. And to participate in the leaderboard or the XP, you're going to have to be in the Discord anyway. So that should be your first step. But yeah, if you want to play, all you got to do is head over to this little code area over here. It's to the right of the entrance, and enter the code 0012, and then enable week 4 challenge mode. And then that starts the challenge. And then I think it's a 5-minute timer is what you're going to have. Let's just start it and we'll see. But whenever you enter in here, it starts it. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then you're just, I think it's 5 minutes. Where would we see what the timer is? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you got a 5-minute timer to collect as many blue blocks as you can without hitting the red. Careful when you're on the edges because you never really know whenever those red things are going to start coming. And then just try and get the highest score you can, and then you'll drop your high score in our Discord. Almost died there. And we'll add you to the leaderboard. So go ahead, and I'm distracted by playing now, but go ahead and play this and see how high you can get. I think the highest I've gotten this week was like 120, which was a really good run for me. But I have been seeing some really high scores get posted over in the Fungi Family Discord. So we'll see who shows up. 30. See if you can beat 30. That's your first goal. I'm gonna get out of this circle so it doesn't start again. But yeah, so go play, go enter, and I guess I could show you guys. I'm sure this is all really not confusing at all for you, but Discord, get over here.
That's a really hard game.
Dude, It is, and it seems like it just keeps getting harder and harder every week when they add new challenges. But where am I? But anyways, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you guys for tuning in live. It's been a blast, like I said, getting to know you, and let's get off of the screen so we can see each other. And thank you guys in the chat for coming by, hanging out, and of course playing, learning, listening, whatever you do. But I appreciate you being here, Andrea, and I look forward to staying connected with you, building out super cool things, and seeing all the other cool things that you build out with everyone else that's doing dope stuff in the metaverse. So with that, we will say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for being here, and
Thank you.
We will catch everyone. Oh, I have another show lined up for today. So if you guys are looking to learn more about Decentraland, I'm having a dude named JTV over on Twitter. If you want to go check him out, he's going to be coming on and talking to us about what he's been doing in Decentraland, and I'm excited to hear more about Decentraland because I haven't really been keeping up to speed very much on what's going over there, but he's building basically like a RPG, MMO RPG. And so, yeah, if you guys are interested in that, that's going to be tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time that I'll be sitting down and talking with him, same place. And we'll be recording from the sandbox, and we'll probably wander over to the Decentraland too. So please join us on that as well. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Andrea. And,
thank you. Thank you again.
We'll catch y'all later. Peace.